And don't you love this city? It's a beautiful city. There's a brand new bridge there, 6th Street Bridge near downtown. As folks stroll down along it, maybe see the beautiful sights. But if you look at that, those tire marks all along the road, people have been doing other things on the brand new bridge. Let's watch some of the issues that they've been dealing with.
Hey, we've returned to the 6th Street Bridge. It's been open for 2 weeks. And if you look at this recent article in the Times by reporter Melissa Hernandez, it says that this bridge was closed Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night to prevent more street takeovers, which have been happening here fairly frequently in the first 2 weeks. Car crashes, burnouts. One of the things that has been reported are people climbing the arches. But Michael Maltzin tried to fix that. The architect who designed this bridge knew that people used to climb the arches on the old 6th Street Bridge. So he tried to incorporate it into these new designs. So he had stairs and guardrails, and it would have been this nice feature. You get up real high and get a nice view. Caltrans, though, did not like that. If you look at this article from Streets Blog from a few years ago, it shows right here. They were potentially going to lose funding for a handful of reasons. One of the main reasons, though, were those stairs. So they were cut from the design. Now people are still climbing them just with no guardrails, which if you look, it's a long drop.
Very scary long drop, and that resulted in more issues. As we saw the street racing and the peel outs and the burnouts and accidents and cars and all this stuff, maybe the planning should have changed, or at least foreseen some of these issues. But still, it got even worse because outside of driving, people are also, as he pointed out, I think, climbing some of those arches, and they show off their positions here. And frighteningly enough, one of those teenagers, 17-year-old Anthony Luna, just recently fell off of one of those arches and passed away. Here's an image of Anthony here. They said he was climbing on one of those arches in order to post, apparently, to social media and broadcast it. That's what the LA Police Chief Michael Moore said after this whole thing went down, which then they found him around 2 a.m. On the 6th Street Viaduct, and he was pronounced dead at a hospital. So because that location, because of the, I guess, the frequency of people thinking this is just, we can get it up there and take a couple images and get some clicks, that maybe it's just a safe thing to do. I mean, there's an invincibility thing that happens when you're around that age. I had it too, but you would hope that there's maybe some safety features put in place. One other thing though, as they said, he was trying to get up there and post, and before you guys start talking about how much of an idiot the kid was, and I can't believe our teenagers these days do these things, his father said that wasn't the case. Is what his father said. Paul Luna told ABC7 that his 17-year-old son Anthony, his fall from that 6th Street Viaduct was just a terrible accident, and it was 100% false that he was trying to post on social media when he fatally plunged from that span. The police, chief of police, they're stating that Anthony did it for a video stunt of some sort. That's what his father said, maybe likes or something, but that's 100% false. And he said that his son didn't even care about social media, nor did he have his phone. At this point though, Adrian, whether it's to post or take a good shot or get the experience of being up there, it's dangerous, bro. It's really tough. And these types of things, as I get older and you got a kid, you start wondering, man, the pain that people go through from such senseless things that they didn't have to necessarily have to go through, it makes this even harder.
It does make it harder, especially when you are dealing with a young person who had their life all set out before them, that they could have done anything, so to speak. And the thing is, we've all been there where we thought we were invincible to some extent, but the reality is that we're not. And I don't think that we should blame him. And I'm really disheartened to hear that the story of, he was trying to post on social media, when it seems that we don't have all the facts. But one thing I do know very well is that, I kind of have a similar thing, and I guess it's very common where people, when they're on edges or by ledges, you kind of get an inkling to move forward, to jump off.
Really?
It's an urge, yeah, because I've read about it a while ago, and I was actually looking it up right now, that there's a phenomenon, and it actually draws you, and you almost like want to fly, and you don't understand where it's coming from. And the thing is I'm literally looking it up right now because it's so incredibly common. I think it's a matter of human nature, that when you get toward edges, you have an urge to jump off a bridge to some extent. And there were some researchers who published a study, it was in early 2011, but there have been studies since then that talk about that. that some are just impulsive desires to, it's just, they're trying to figure that out. But the reality is that it's not necessarily someone being, maybe not having the right leadership in terms of having parenting or whatnot, but it's a very much like a Freudian experience where people are like, oh, it's kind of interesting to me. I kind of want to move forward with this.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know, but I've always known it from the research I've read that it is a very, very common urge. And it's not necessarily to end your life in any form or fashion, that it's more of a draw, a calling. It's weird.
As you're looking at it, I'm not sure if there's a term for it. I'm really curious. If you see the term, let me know. But yeah, no, go ahead, because I have a thought here. So Adrian's on the case. Maybe from the way you're describing it, it sounds like similarly the way, people have a fear of heights. So if they're on an elevator where they can see outside of the building that they're traveling to the 50th floor of, and then they'll go, oh my God, I hate being up here. It's a natural urge to be afraid of it. Maybe there's a phenomenon people don't talk about where there's a natural urge to be a part of it. I don't know. I mean, it's, I don't understand or experience the fear of heights. I can understand it. I just don't feel it automatically whenever I'm high enough. I just go, ooh, this is a little creepy, but it doesn't make me want to like cower. Maybe it's the opposite. Some people want to cower and some people want to get closer to it. I mean, the bungee jumping phenomenon or anything. We're diving out of airplanes, but you'll be safe. I guess it's something that people would know until they're actually there. You got answers? Ms. Lawrence?
I don't have answers yet. It's funny, I was just looking more
we'll
for the research. But yeah, no, because it's one of those where it's not a matter of life or death, it's almost a matter of experience. And I think that in part, it's funny because I talk to clients all day long and I talk to people and different employees at companies. And I love to bring up the fact that everybody's different. And yesterday I was giving a talk in Napa to a client in a room full of them, and I started stimming because I was hungry. And that's how my body was soothing. And I remind people that everyone is different. And so when we create space to learn, as opposed to categorize, and if we need to box people into these ideations of who they are, then we can learn more about the true human experience. And we can love people as they are, we can protect people as they are, we can help people understand who they are. And that's what the powerful thing is. And so I'm sad to know that this young man's life was cut short. At the same time, for us to say it's social media and all these other things, or there's something wrong with him, that's not fair and it's not productive.
And also you talk about the boxing in of people who they are, and and you said the stimming and everything. So also people figure it's, oh, that's a kid thing, or we have to get that out of him, or that type of stuff. It's human. It's a human thing, and it's perfectly fine as long as we know about it. It's a good point.